Hello friends, this video on matter and magnetism part 27 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 26 before going ahead with part 27. Now we will talk about a very important and interesting topic which has too much of practical significance when you talk of magnetism, and that is called hysteresis. So let us now see what is hysteresis. Hysteresis is basically a phenomenon of lagging of intensity of magnetization behind magnetic intensity when a specimen of magnetic material is subjected to a cycle of magnetization. So the definition for hysteresis looks quite long and complicated. It is not that complicated as it looks like. It just says that suppose you have a specimen, you have a sample of some substance. You magnetize that substance. How do you magnetize by substance? By applying a magnetic intensity or magnetizing force, whatever you call it. So what do you see when you increase the magnetic intensity, and as you keep changing the magnetic intensity, the intensity of magnetization also keeps changing accordingly, and it is seen that the intensity of magnetization always lags behind the magnetic intensity. So this entire phenomenon is known as hysteresis. So it will become clearer to you when I explain you the same thing with the help of this diagram. So what is happening here? Let us suppose there is a sample of some substance and we are magnetizing it. How are we magnetizing it? Let us suppose we are plotting along the x-axis the magnetizing force or the magnetic intensity. So along the x-axis we have magnetic intensity, and along y-axis we have magnetization. Okay, so here we see that as the magnetic intensity is increased from 0 to this value A, let us call this value as the corresponding value for this as A. So as the magnetic intensity is increased from 0 to this value A, and then again decreased from A to 0, and further it is decreased to this point B. So we are first increasing the magnetic intensity from 0 to A, and then again decreasing it back to 0 and even decreasing it further to this point B. Then we see that the material follows this kind of a curve. That means the magnetization of the material changes in the shape of this curve. So this curve is known as the hysteresis curve, and this entire process is known as the cycle of magnetization. So this entire process tells us how the magnetization changes with the changing magnetic intensity. So how does it change? Initially what happens, as we increase the as we increase H, that is as we increase magnetic intensity from 0 to this value A, the magnetization also increases and it reaches a maximum value at A. After that, as we decrease the magnetic intensity from A to 0, the magnetization does not decrease to 0. The magnetization has a certain value, let us say dr. This value is denoted by dr. It has this value when your magnetic intensity is reduced to 0. So this value means this value of magnetization which you have is known as the residual magnetism. That means even though you have reduced the magnetic intensity to 0, your magnetization is still not 0. That means there is still some magnetization left in that particular sample. So this value of magnetization is known as residual magnetism. That means the magnetism exists even after you have removed the magnetic intensity completely. Right? Now when you decrease the magnetic intensity further to this point B, it is seen that the magnetization also keeps decreasing. So the point where magnetization reduces to 0, that point is known as coercivity. So this point, like the way it is called residual magnetism, similarly, the value of magnetic intensity for which the magnetization reduces to zero is known as coercivity, right? So this value, this point corresponds to coercivity of the material, right? So, and then further as it keeps decreasing, it is decreased till point B, the curve also decreases and it reaches a minimum value corresponding to it. So what do we see? Here we saw that as we increase the magnetic intensity from 0 to a maximum value, the magnetization also increases. Now, when we start decreasing the magnetic intensity back to 0, the magnetization also decreases, but it does not become 0. It reaches a certain value which corresponds to residual magnetism. That means when the even though the magnetic intensity is reduced to 0, there is a non-zero value of magnetization. That means the sample still has some magnetization. Now, when the magnetic intensity is decreased even further below 0, it is seen that the magnetization of the sample also decreases and a point is reached where the magnetization becomes 0. So that point corresponds to the coercivity of the material. That means the point at which the magnetization reduces to 0. The corresponding value of magnetic intensity defines the coercivity of the material. And thereafter, as you keep decreasing your magnetic intensity further, the magnetization also decreases. So from this graph, we see that the intensity of magnetization, this intensity, it lags behind the magnetization. That means this magnetic intensity becomes 0 first. And then after some time, this intensity of magnetization becomes 0. Right? So that means intensity of magnetization M actually follows H. First H increases, then M increases, then H decreases to 0, after that M decreases to 0. So basically M always lags behind H. So this entire cycle is called cycle of magnetization. This curve is known as hysteresis curve, and these 2 points are very important. They are known as retentivity or residual magnetism. So that means from this, what did we observe? When H is increased to maximum, the magnetization also increases and reaches a maximum value. After that, as H is reduced to 0, from maximum as it is reduced to 0, corresponding to that, M has a non-zero value, which is known as retentivity or residual magnetism. Right? Now, so this was first, this is second. Now the third thing is when H is increased in the opposite direction, that means it is still decreased further beyond this. So basically it is increasing in magnitude but in opposite direction. So when H is increased in opposite direction, then what happens? A point is reached where the magnetization becomes 0. So magnetization becomes 0, that point refers to the coercivity of the material, right? So by looking at a hysteresis curve, this hysteresis curve is different for different materials. So by looking at the hysteresis curve, you can tell about the retentivity of the material, the coercivity of the material, right? So you can tell about all these things by looking at the hysteresis curve. So you can predict some of the properties of the materials. For example, if the retentivity of a material is very high, that means the material stays magnetized. So a material has strong value of magnetism. That means the material remains strongly magnetized even though the magnetic intensity is reduced to 0. That means even though there is no magnetic intensity, still the material retains its magnetization, right? If it has a very small value of residual magnetism, that means as soon as the magnetic intensity is removed, the magnetization that the material retains is very less. So it will not remain magnetized for a long time after you remove the magnetic intensity, right? So these are the certain things which you can predict by looking at the hysteresis curve. So now let us discuss these 2 points even more clearly, that is retentivity and coercivity, by looking at the hysteresis loop. So retentivity, or it is also known as residual magnetism or remanence, and coercivity are 2 very important properties which decide a lot of things, or which predicts a lot of things about a specific material. For example, as I just mentioned, retentivity will tell you that what is the value of M when H is reduced to 0. So if M is very large, that means the substance will remain strongly magnetized, or it will retain its magnetization even though the magnetic intensity is reduced to 0. Coercivity is very large. That means the magnetization of the substance will become 0 only when the magnetic intensity reaches a very large value. That means the magnetization of the substance will reduce to 0 after a long time, right? So it will remain magnetized for a very long time. So these are the certain properties which help us to decide a lot of things about different materials, which you will see in the next few slides. So let us talk about energy dissipation due to hysteresis. What is energy dissipation? Energy dissipated in the form of heat during the cycle of magnetization of the material. So during this entire cycle, there is some energy which is lost in the form of heat. That is, you cannot regain that energy back. So that energy is known as the energy dissipation. Through the cycle of magnetization, what happens? When you logically think of it, during this entire cycle of magnetization, what happens? The magnetic dipoles gets oriented and disoriented over and again. As a result, there is a heat production which takes place, because here what is happening basically? We are basically increasing the magnetic intensity first, and then we are decreasing the magnetic intensity. So this increase and decrease of magnetic intensity is also causing an increase and decrease in the magnetization. Sometimes it is getting magnetized completely. Sometimes the magnetization is reducing. Sometimes it is getting completely demagnetized. So during this process of magnetization and demagnetization, what is happening? The molecular dipoles, the magnetic dipoles inside, they are getting oriented and disoriented over and again, because when the magnetic dipoles are all oriented in one direction, that means it is getting magnetized. When the magnetic dipoles are all randomly oriented, that means it is demagnetized, right? So during this entire cycle of magnetization, the getting magnetized and demagnetized takes place over and again. Therefore, orientation and disorientation of magnetic dipoles also keep happening over and again. So this orientation and disorientation over and again results in heat production. And this heat production is what we are talking about here in energy dissipation, that there is some heat energy which is dissipated during the cycle of magnetization. So you might have been thinking that from where is heat coming out of all the things here? So this is how heat comes up, right? Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.